Hi, I'm Dana, and after many years of putting a lot of work and a lot of effort into trying and often failing to improve my life and get myself into a nicer, happier spot, I have finally managed it, and I am at the first point in my life where I would genuinely tell you I'm quite happy and things are going quite well for me. It's not that things are better than they have been or things could be worse. Things are genuinely good, you know? Things could be better still, don't get me wrong. It's good. It's not, oh well, I can find ways to phrase this to make it sound not as shit as it is. I can find ways to like cheer myself up through this. You know, it's not that. Things are genuinely really quite nice. Things are quite good. I'm quite enjoying myself in a lot of ways. And one of the things that has come along with that is that people both online and in my real life, obviously not everyone in my real life, but some of them, a lot of people seem to take this as like, oh, congrats on fixing your autism. Congrats on not being autistic anymore. Obviously, if you're doing well now, that means you're not in autistic burnout and you're not like constantly being overwhelmed and distressed. So that means that you can now just go out and behave like a normal person. You can just stop being autistic now. You can mask and you can work and you can do everything that you're supposed to do as a neurotypical human being. And you can just manage that now because you're not burnt out and distressed as an autistic person. And oh my Christ, do I wish that were the case, you know? One of the really horrifying things I've found as an autistic person is every time I do better, every time I manage something, rather than people being like, oh, congrats on managing that, people are like, okay, so you can do more then. Like, if you could do that now, you can do more next time, can't you? And like, it took it all out of me. It took everything. Like, I only have so much of a capability, you know? So today's video is going to discuss some of the ways in which I'm still fucking autistic, you know? My autism still affects me. Being an autistic person is still a part of my day-to-day life, even when I am in a better position. So we're going to just have a little chat about that and discuss some of the things that come with it. And the first one is one that I'm not going to go super in depth on because it is basically what my last video was about. Because my last video was about having my first big shutdown in a really fucking long time, like in years. Like, it was a really tough and distressing time for me that arose from having a nice day, socialising with friendly people. I went out, I socialised, I spoke to people, they were all really nice. I came home, I couldn't speak, I very nearly had a meltdown, I did have to have a little cry. I just had a whole fucking time of it. It put me into an absolute shutdown. I couldn't use my brain properly, I couldn't speak properly, it felt absolutely awful. And that came from having a nice time. Like, I'm really annoyed about it. There's a lot of times that like having a meltdown, having a shutdown, whatever's going on that's like distressing and bad for me, I just sort of deal with it because I'm like, well, of course this is happening. I've just had this like awful experience and now I'm upset. Like, what a surprise. So it does frustrate me a lot more when it's a case of I had a really nice time and now I'm just so incredibly overwhelmed by having socialised and having like experienced sensory input, and it's just absolutely fucked me up to have a pleasant experience. And obviously that was quite one of the big ones, that's why it's got its own video and isn't just like a side note in a video like this one. But the majority, like anything I do, I need to recover from, quite frankly, whether it's good or bad, nice or horrid, whether it goes really well and I have a fantastic time, or it goes like absolute shit and I like scurry off home early. However it's gone, I need full-on recovery time, because however it's gone, I'm going to get those little adrenaline shakes, I'm going to have to stim, I'm going to have to re-regulate my emotional state. Like, no matter how nice it is, no matter how much fun I've had, I will need full-on recovery time where I have to like actively take care of myself afterwards in order to bring myself back to like a normal state of being. And I'm really glad that I'm able to go out and do the nice things, but it'd be really nice to not be like, okay, so I've scheduled a nice thing for this day, so I now need 2 days after that before I can do another nice thing at least. And like, if it's a bigger nice thing, like I have to really schedule my life to allow myself recovery time from having enjoyed myself, and it frustrates me. And sometimes that does me missing out on other things that I actively really want to do, because I just don't have the energy, I don't have the capability, I'm not able to do it. And if I do go and do it, I'm just going to end up running off. It's not going to be the nice time that I want it to be, because I don't have the capability to do all the things that I need to do to make it a nice time, you know? So that is a frustrating part of it. It really fucking pisses me off that like I've completely switched it to have the opposite experience of most of my social activities being pleasant, nice ones, and I still have the same fucking emotional response when I get home and I'm like, oh my god, that was so much. Like, it actually does really annoy me. Another one that gets harder and harder the more of like a nice time I'm having is remembering to eat, remembering to like do the things that I need to do to be able to eat, remembering to get groceries in, remembering to get groceries in that are actually useful. Like I've got mushrooms in my fridge at the minute and I'm like, I don't even particularly like mushrooms. What the fuck am I meant to do with mushrooms? But I bought them. I chose to buy mushrooms because I've used so much of like my mental capability and my mental energy and my like ability to think on other things and like scheduling myself to have a nice time and figuring out my public transport and emailing the people I need to email to be able to go to this event and whatever. But like I don't have it left in me to get the groceries in the first place. So when it comes around to dinner time and I'm like, oh my god, I need to eat something, I'm looking in my fridge, I'm looking in my freezer. There's like, to be fair, right now I haven't done too bad because I did an Iceland order and they do the really cheap chicken nuggets and chicken strips that are vegan and like, mwah. So I'm doing alright on that front right now. But it's because I was doing so badly that I was like, it was like 10 p.m. and I was like, I'm gonna just have to do an Iceland shop, aren't I? Because I haven't got anything in. So like that's all like for this moment. But the more I'm doing things, the more I'm having nice times, the more I'm like happy and comfortable and safe and feeling good, the less I think about food, the less I think about getting groceries in, the less I remember to eat during the day, through the day, the more it gets to like 8, 9, 10 p.m. I'm like, oh shit, I need to do dinner now. I need to eat something. It should probably have some level of nutritional value because I haven't eaten anything all day. It's probably sausage rolls or chicken nuggets, maybe some broccoli. It's at some point, hopefully it's going to be mushrooms. You know, like it completely flees from my mind because I don't get the hunger signals. I don't get the prompts of like, you're hungry, you should eat something now. So I very simply just, and it's absolutely wild to me because like I grew up overweight and having a lot of food issues and a lot of food struggles, and food made up a massive amount of what I thought about during the day for like the vast majority of my teen years and early 20s. So the fact that I'm now at a point in life where it like slips my mind, there's a level to which I'm like, oh, well done, girl. And there's a level to which I'm like, yeah, but you do still need to eat. Like, it's all like to not think about it, but you do actually need to like fuel your body. And especially one of my friends came to stay and accidentally left Huel. And I'm not a big fan of Huel, but I'm also not a big fan of food waste. So I was like, they've only left 3. I'll just fucking deal with them. I'll drink them. It's fine. And I noticed that from drinking Huel through the day, I do feel like I have more brain capability. I feel more fueled. I feel more capable of like I don't feel more capable of like being less autistic and going out. And it's not like I've drank a Huel and now my recovery time's been halved. But I do notice that like when it comes to making a video, I'm not quite so sleepy. It's not quite as much of a struggle. It's just that little bit, I'm fueled, you know? It's not solving everything, but it is helping with some parts. And I definitely do need to improve my level of eating through the day. But I very simply just completely fucking forgot about it, and it's really rough to do. So I think I maybe do need to find some Huel or something similar that I actually like. So yeah, moving on to the next one. The more I'm going out and doing things, there's a lot of sensory input happening. Changes in lighting is actually a really big one for me, like going from the bus to outside to being in a space to back outside to on the bus, the light changes on the bus. It getting dark, like all of the light changes are a lot of sensory input for me that quite often give me like a weird little tension headache at the front of my head. And that's something that I haven't really experienced that much since school, to be honest with you, because I haven't done that much since school, you know? Like I found things a lot harder while I was in burnout and everything, so I am able to do more now that I'm not in such a deep burnout, now that I'm in an area that allows it, now that I'm around things that I want to go out and do. I am definitely doing more, and it's so much. It feels like being in school again sometimes when I'm on my way home, because I've had that much sensory input through the day that like I can't take in anything. I'm also someone who sweats excessively when I'm anxious. It's lovely, I know. When I'm on public transport, when I'm arriving to events, all sorts of things like that, I'm sweating. I can quite often feel it literally dripping down my body from my armpits because I just sweat excessively, super fucking heavily, because I'm just so nervous. And I also, I'm just a fucking sweaty person, okay? It is a bit gross. I do my best to combat it, because I have to, because I'm a really sweaty person. But also, the better I'm doing and the more I'm bopping around and the more I'm having all of this sensory input and the more I'm getting super fucking sweaty, the more personal hygiene becomes a massive issue, because I've already had all of this sensory input. I'm not having a fucking shower. I'm not getting into a bath full of water. It's so, like, having a shower and having a bath for me, the temperature changes, all of the sounds that come with it, just having, it feels like I'm being touched, but it's just water, so it has to be on me, but also it doesn't fully leave, but it doesn't fully stay. Like, the entire act of washing my body is an entire fucking sensory thing that I very simply cannot cope with well on the best of fucking days. Never mind when I've been having a time of doing things. So I'm very, very often having like weird little Victorian strip washes in my sink with flannels, because I don't want to be smelly, I don't want to be dirty, I don't want to be gross, I don't want to inflict my smell of sweat on everyone else. But also, there's no chance I can wash myself fucking properly, and it's definitely not good for like my skin and my self-confidence and whatever else. It just, I can't do it, you know? So I do what I'm able to. I do the accommodations so that I'm not like absolutely stinky as anything. And I also really should be looking into getting some of those, like, I've seen like soapy big, like, mind you, if I get like the one-time use wash things, I'm just doing exactly what I'm doing with my weird little Victorian washing in the sink, aren't I? But with a non-reusable product. So I actually think that's quite pointless for me personally, because like, that's the thing as well, is when I'm looking for accommodations, a lot of things are obviously for people who can't shower because they can't move. So it's like, well, yeah, obviously if you're bedbound, it makes way more sense to have a one-time use product that you can just like do a wash with and put in the bin. I can go and stand by my fucking sink, you know? I'll sit on toilet if I have to. It's fine. I don't know why I've gone onto a tangent of why that accommodation isn't that useful to me, but I have. But yeah, I find it very difficult, and I do what I fucking can, but I have had times that I've been like, oh, I'm not going to this event today because I haven't had it in me to shower and I'm smelly. I don't want to meet people I'm all smelly and gross and haven't showered, so I'm not going. So my next little point is that the better that I'm doing, the more I focus on the thing that's making me feel good. So whether that's going for walks, going to social events, doing this, doing that, I focus on that thing, and other things just slowly fall apart. I'm nowhere near it as good as I was at doing my dishes and keeping my house tidy and remembering to hoover. That's just not my number one main priority of focus, because if I don't do it, my housemate or my ex-boyfriend or like who, I've spent a long time with the trauma. If I don't keep my house as spotless as I physically fucking can, someone's going to shout at me, and I'm very scared. So there is a level of like healing my trauma that means that I am able to like leave a bit more of a mess around now. But also there is just a massive level of, I've gone out and done this social thing, I'm completely fucking exhausted, I'm struggling to even regulate my emotions, I'm not doing my fucking dishes now, I'm not hoovering now. Like, they're both quite sensory activities, you know, like I have to touch the water, I have to deal with the smell of the soap, like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. The noise of the hoover is fucking disgusting. I don't want to hear that when I've already had like a bit of a time. And I think one of the big things that I haven't fully registered for myself previously as well is how much, when I'm going to events, it is very much the sensory experience of these events as well, alongside all like the other anxiety inducing things like trying to socialise with people, walking into new spaces and not knowing where people are going to be sat and things like that. All of it absolutely fucking terrifies me. And on top of that, I'm quite often going into spaces where like the lighting isn't like great for me. I'm too hot, I'm too cold. There's background noise that's really taken out of me because I'm having to like really fucking focus to hear what anyone's saying. Like, there's a whole lot of the sensory experience happening that I've often been too focused on like the social aspect to realise that is a massive part of what is exhausting me and tiring me out and creating this like emotionally dysregulated state that I find myself in after those events. It's not all just the socialising and the masking and the trying to be friendly and personable and make friends. A massive amount of it is all the sensory experience of just the world happening around me, you know? So things like slipping behind on personal hygiene or keeping my house clean and tidy obviously aren't the worst things in the whole world, but then other things that are important will just completely slip my mind. And I can't really give you examples because they've slipped my mind. I'm very certain that at any point in my entire fucking life there has been something very important that I'm supposed to get around to, and it just vanishes from my mind. It vanishes, and then there'll be a point like 3 days before it absolutely has to be done that I'll wake up at 2 a.m. and be like, it's that, I need to do that, oh fuck, and I'll go and do it. But it's, you know, I used to have so many arguments with my ex and my family about procrastinating and just getting things done and blah 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 blah, and I'd be like, no, but I'm not putting it off. It did not exist in my brain. It was not a concept that I was remembering to be aware of, you know, like I haven't put it off. it didn't exist to me. It wasn't there. I've been so focused on doing this or that, or like trying to fucking survive, that everything else has just fully slipped out of my mind and it's gone, you know? And it was the kind of thing that I understood a lot more about myself when it was like, well, I'm trying to survive right now, so I'm very sorry that I forgot to pay that thing or message that person or reply to this email. Like I'm trying to like keep myself alive. Very sorry about that. So it's another one that does kind of frustrate me more now, where it's like, oh sorry, I got a bus to go up a tower and really enjoyed myself, so I couldn't really think of anything for 3 days after. Oh, and my last point was about sensory issues, but I went on my little tangent about how I didn't realise how much the sensory input that's happening around me impacts my ability and experience of social situations. And that was basically what my last point was going to be, was just that sensory issues, no matter how well I'm doing on like my day-to-day, how nice my life is, whatever else, lights, noises, all like just the entire like fucking sensory landscape of the world around us, the wind, I'm so often completely fucking overwhelmed by the wind. Like it's too much. Like there's just so many things that are happening around me, to my body, that I'm hearing and smelling and seeing, and like it's all so much so often, and it's something that I've been absolutely trained to try to just ignore, you know. Like, you know, especially growing up without a diagnosis as a child, when I was saying things were too bright, when I was saying that's too loud, when I was telling people about my sensory experience, I was being told, no, that's not how it is. It's the same way for everyone and everyone else is fine, you're just being silly. So it is actually a massive thing for me to be able to start recognising when it is a case of like, sure, everyone else is fine, that doesn't mean that it's an alright sensory experience for me personally, you know? So I feel like I did get to say a little bit more there that fully explained how I feel in regards to it. So it wasn't a completely pointless point to add on at the end, but I did do most of my point previously. So that's sort of where we can round off now, isn't it? Yeah, I was trying to think of like a whole like outro spiel, but I don't. Sometimes I feel like I need to like use the few bits of education that I had when I'm filming videos, and I'm like, I need the conclusion, I need to round it all off. But like I feel like I gave you a good enough little explanation of what was going on at the start, and now I've done the video, and that's, I don't know how to conclude it all. Like that's the information, I've given it to you. Hope you enjoyed. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Things that you continue to struggle with even when you're in positions where you're doing better. Like, I'm running out of words, okay? I still only have so many words per day, I swear to God, and I use the vast majority of them in videos. So I'm going to go, after I've done my final little spiel that we should all be getting used to and that I should have hopefully somehow scripted better in my head without actually thinking about it. So as you probably know, my best friend Seth is doing a GoFundMe for their partner Shan so they can get an adapted van, because Shan has a host of different disabilities and chronic illnesses and quite a lot going on, that means that using ordinary transport, using buses, using ambulances, even using taxis, all of that kind of stuff further causes them injury and causes their pain to worsen, and it's just an overall really fucking bad time for them, and especially causes a lot of neck injuries that are like very ongoing for them. It's not just like, oh well, they're in pain while they go to the hospital and then they're all right, which still wouldn't be okay. You know, it's very ongoing issues that really impact them, and it's a very difficult situation for them to be in. It's a very difficult situation for Steph to try and care for them through. It just really fucking sucks for my friend and their partner, and it could all be solved if they just bought a van and adapted it so that Shan can get to hospital appointments, go about their life, go to fun things, just do all of the things that people deserve to be able to do regardless of whether they're disabled or not, you know? So I don't want to put that bit in the video, but I need to just keep this streaming and keep it going, because otherwise I'm just going to stop and then I'm going to be sat here for like 15 minutes before I actually end the video. So we're just going to carry on. So it would be really cool if you went and checked out Steph's GoFundMe so that you can help them out a little bit. If you can just give it a read, I'd really appreciate it, to be honest with you. If you wanted to share it, that would be even better. And obviously if you're able to donate, that would be absolutely incredible. Whatever you're able to do is very appreciated. I know that we're in a cost of living crisis and everyone's having an absolute fucking time. I get it very much. Like there is no shade here if you're not able to donate. If you're not able to share even, maybe it's not the kind of thing you like to share, that's fine as well. I'm not trying to guilt anyone or make anyone feel bad. I'm just trying very hard to put it out there so that if anyone is able to donate and help them out, they're able to get there a little bit quicker. It would be really nice. I'd really appreciate it. They'd really appreciate it. It would massively change someone's quality of life. And I'm going to actually go now, so whoever you are, wherever you are, have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.